Hey everybody, it's Dr. Cara, and it's that time again. It is for a monthly forecast, and this month is January 2021. I feel kind of like in The Wizard of Oz, ding dong, the witch is dead, like ding dong, 2020 is over. Obviously, there's been a lot of blessings, but there's been a lot of major challenges. All over the world for all of us in some way. We've all had to face something. So whatever you've had to face, I'm cheering you on and saying, hey, we made it through and face something that, never would have expected to face. Nothing could have prepared us for this. So good job. That's what I want to say. Good job. Yay us. We're doing it. And, this is this time of year when we're all getting ready for next year. And I've been getting a lot of information about the astrology of 2021 and how different it is, and just the energy of the lightening up. We're moving into air signs for a lot of the planets and everything, which means things are going to lighten up a bit, which is really, really good. But 2021 is a 5-year, so fives can be really about travel and the global process, but they can also be about living large and doing things fully. So I don't feel like it's going to be a year like 2020, the intensity of it. I feel like it's going to be a year of expansion for all of us. And January is a 1 year. It's the first 1 month. It's the first month of the year, so it's a 1. And so that plays into January as well. It's a new beginning. It's a starting. It's a doing things well. 1 is also about really being number 1 and doing things well. So these are just all the kinds of things that I think about as I'm integrating all of this information into my world. And I have to tell you guys that last week, so I'm recording this just before Christmas, and last week I had an incident happen that was exactly what I had predicted in my December forecast. And I was like, oh my gosh. And the way I remembered it was that while I was in the middle of this interaction with somebody, a hawk flew right in front of my face, really unusual, flew low, flew straight horizontally across in front of me, not like right there, but really caught my attention. And I was like, wow, hawk, that's really about taking a step back and being an observer and having a little distance. And then it was like, poof, I remembered that my December forecast was don't get caught up in other people's strong emotions, be a clear leader, and get a little emotional distance, get a little distance from the whole situation. You don't have to get involved in whatever the situation is. And so I had a situation that was exactly like that, with somebody who had their emotions really triggered, really intense for them. And I realized that that's not my upset, that is that person's upset. And my opportunity was to step up in my leadership and be a leader, and take just a little bit of elevation around the situation, be a little bit more of an observer. So I loved that it unfolded not, I always kind of think about my forecasts with the 3 cards are kind of in order, kind of timing wise, but this was really a specific situation that unfolded just within a day or so. So it just was a reminder to me. And then of course, I love that I have a hawk flying into my face practically to trigger that memory of like, oh yeah, that's what's going on. So I just offer that as an example for, there's a lot of fluidity in the information that comes from the cards for the monthly forecast. And there's also, ways that we can keep it in mind or check back in. I know I've several times said, hey, I checked back in, I reflected on the month and blah, blah, blah. So I was just really kind of really pleased. I felt like, there's some substance to this. It was just a confirmation, right? Like, we're not just playing around with cards. It's like we're really getting useful information. And it was helpful for me to just confirm that the way that I was handling the situation was, appropriate for the situation. And I didn't need to get all worked up and upset. I could just be like, okay, here we go. So with that said, let's look at January 2020. And so I've got my Animal Wisdom Oracle cards, and I'm going to just do one final shuffle, and I'm pulling these two cards. So let's see what those two are first. One came from the top of the deck, one came from the middle of the deck. Ah, I love it. Two of my favorite cards. So Panda and Reindeer. And the panda is about peace. I mean, just the energy of being around a panda, you can feel it. It's tangible in the atmosphere. The peace that they radiate, just the peacefulness of that animal is incredible. And so the reminder for us is to find some stillness and in our lives, in this moment, in this time. Take a little time out, take some time, whatever that means for you. If it's a day of retreat, or if it's a reflection in your journal, or if it's just setting a timer and going, okay, this is my meditation time for the day. Whatever it is for you, this is a great time to really practice finding that stillness and finding that peace. Sorry, I'm working through a little something with the throat thing here. And Reindeer, one of my all-time favorite cards, because the conversation I had with the reindeer was just so freaking awesome several years ago, and I still remember it. But the thing about the reindeer is, to me, the biggest thing about the reindeer is remember that there's always time to play. So the reindeer really has this group awareness. So part of the message, I feel like, for us is to remember that we're part of something bigger. We're part of a group. We're all connected. And the plans can change. So we can have a plan that we create, but we can also adjust to whatever the circumstances are. And in the US, I think of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and as they're planning their inauguration and swearing in and all that stuff, they are modifying it. So they're sticking to the plan, but they're modifying it based on current conditions. So a lot of it's going to be remote and all that kind of stuff, not a lot of big group gatherings as we usually do in this country. So I think that in a lot of ways, they are bringing that reindeer energy to that planning of that event. And that's what we need to do. That's the challenge of the reindeer, is to kind of mindlessly stick to a plan just because you made a plan. So I really think that January has an element of flexibility, and to heads up, watch out for when you're being, kind of stuck on one plan or one idea. And remember, there's always time to play. That is the best wisdom of the reindeer. No matter what we're doing, play doesn't take extra time. Whatever we're doing, we can bring some playfulness to it. So super, super awesome. I love 3 cards, so I'm just going to pull a third card, which is the cat. And the cat is really about balance and interdependence. And so to me, this goes back, the big picture of these 3 cards. With the reindeer, you're part of the group. The cat is, you are interdependent. So you are yourself, but you're also, in a mutualistically beneficial relationship with others. And the panda, finding that peace and stillness within. To me, these 3 cards taken together are really about finding a new place in your heart, in your life, in your community. Find that place where you recognize what your piece of the puzzle is, what your role is, and be mindful of adjustments that might come to whatever the plan is for that group. But having that attitude of that mutually beneficial relationship, that's to me the heart of the message of the cat. And yet we still have our independence, we have our autonomy, but we can also be connected to the group. And that, again, goes back to the reindeer. They have this really fantastic awareness of everybody in their group. And then the panda is really about find that stillness inside of you, find that core place of who you are, and really operate from that stillness, from that place of power, from that place of peace and love and openness. This month is really about finding our way in a new reality. It's a new age, it's a new time, it's a new year. And January is that new beginning. And so to start it off with coming from a place of there's enough time for me to take time to play, to meditate, to find my peace, and to be connected to the bigger picture, the bigger group, and yet play my role my way. So panda, reindeer, and cat. Those are the cards that we drew for January 2021. And I wish you a beautiful new year. I wish you all the many, many blessings. Anything that you wish, I wish it for you. And I would love to hear from you. What do you think about these cards? Do they say something else to you? Is there another message that maybe I haven't brought forward that you want to share in the comments? Please, please, please share it. I love hearing from you. I love hearing your interpretation and your experience with those animals and their wisdom and their teaching. So we all benefit when we share all of our collective information. So have a great day, have a great month, and I will look forward to seeing you more in 2021. Bye, everybody.